Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to you wherever you are in the world. I've come to the heart of Munich, to the Theresienwiese, a space where millions of people flock to every year to forget their woes and just enjoy the joys of beer, pretzels and trajectory vomiting.
What's up, this?
And I've come here to introduce you to part 2 of my 3-part series on how to purge yourself of corporate sabotage by becoming a corporate artist. Part 2 is called... Now, there are many kinds of artists. You have painters, you have sculptors, you have performance artists, you have actors.
This is size 10 chaos.
You have theatre makers, musicians, composers, dancers, dance theatre makers, pop musicians, classical musicians, and yes, YouTube creators. And there have been many words written about what art is. I mean, I bought this book here in 1992 to help me write quite literally the worst dissertation that has ever been written. Look at it. It's huge, absolutely huge. But I'd actually like to look at what it means to actually be an artist. Now, the Oxford English Dictionary description for an artist: a person who creates paintings or drawing as a profession or hobby. That's not particularly helpful. So here's what I think an artist actually does. 8 things that I think an artist is. So firstly, the artist looks at the world in an attempt to understand what it is. Then they take it apart, examine it, and then put it back together again in a way that impacts people. Number 2, the artist uses ideas to put that world back together again. Ideas and putting the world back together again that impact people, that is the artist's strategy. The artist's medium is the artist's tactics. So paint, clay, words, music, poetry, film, video, dance.
I thought this was a party! Let's dance!
That's tactics. Number 3, artists are curiosity machines and culture filters. Curiosity fuels artists. Number 4, artists are professional outsiders who work really hard to get stuff done that impacts people. Number 5, artists simplify and invent. Number 6, artists own their own process. Number 7, artists fight for their ideas and what they believe in. And number 8, artists are absolutely obsessed with impacting people's lives with their work. Now, for me, that sounds like a recipe for creating an environment in which would absolutely thwart the efforts of a corporate saboteur. Am I suggesting that you become a corporate artist? Yes, I am. And here are some simple, really simple tips and tricks that you can use to become a corporate artist. First one is, have a curiosity book. Curiosity books are great. I used to call them the one thing book. Stop that. It's now called the curiosity book. And what I'd like you to do is to find out something new every single day. Just one thing. It can be anything. It can be related to your work, it can be related to general knowledge, it can be something that you heard on the radio, something you saw on the television, something you watch on Netflix, conversation on the tram, anything. Write it down in your curiosity book. Make your curiosity book part of your daily process. The curiosity book helps you hunt for ideas. The second tip is a simple one. Take a photograph every single day. One photograph, a good one. The best one. Be on the lookout for the best possible photograph that you can take. You don't have to publish it on Facebook or on Instagram. You can if you like, but you really don't have to. Taking a photograph every day, making that part of your process, means that you start looking harder for the photograph that you need to take every single day. It means you start looking at the world a little bit harder.
A large part of seeing depends upon habit and convention.
And by looking at the world a bit harder, you start capturing the world a bit harder, because life is what's happening outside, in the real world, while you're stuck in the corporate tangible machine. So just break out, get out into the real world. Which leads me to the next tip, and I know you're going to guess it. Go for a walk. You remember that long distance hike I did for the 4 marathon challenge? The one in the rain, the one I'd said I'd never do again? We did it again. And it was marvelous. The next tip is to create a body of work, an oeuvre. Don't look at what you're doing as kind of dislocated events that have no connection to each other or are just lined up in a row that could be picked apart and criticized. Look at your work as if it was a body of work. Order your work, structure your work into separate books. Have a sketchbook for ideas. Cut things out, stick them in with glue and gum and make notes and scribble ideas down next to them. Draw if you're good at drawing. Draw if you're not good at drawing. Write down notes in an extra book that you have especially for writing down notes in, which is different to the sketchbook with the gluey stuff in. And the final tip towards becoming a corporate artist is work really, really hard at understanding how the world works. Empathy is your greatest tool. Look at people, watch them, listen to them, try to understand why they do what they do, why they feel like they feel, why the world works the way the world works. Look at it hard, take it to pieces, examine it, and put it back together again in a way that will impact people. So now you have the skills and the mindset to become a corporate artist. In the third and final film, I'll discuss why you should even bother. Until next time.